Getting out of the way.
I got the snap ready.
Hey, you're paying your tab, fucker. You're paying your fucking tab. You're paying tab. You get your ass up and pay your tab.
May 30th, 2025, a quiet night just outside Fort Wayne. Inside a place called Pikes Pub, people were drinking, talking, laughing. Nothing unusual, nothing out of place, until a video surfaced. Not from the news, not from police, but from the internet. And what it showed was something no one could ignore. 6 men, 1 victim, in a moment that would spark outrage across the country. But here's the part that still doesn't sit right, because what happened that night might not be as simple as it looks.
From last night's city council meeting, the councilors signed a letter calling for further investigation into last month's incident at Pikes Pub. They're also thanking the victim's supporters for coming out and speaking their mind last night. Now, here is the infamous video we're talking about. Many calling this a racially motivated attack. It shows bar patron James Simmons. He's the black man wearing the white vest and white t-shirt, the yellow vest and white t-shirt there, being thrown to the ground. He was beaten by a group of men seemingly connected to the Outlaws Motorcycle Gang. Now, in the letter of the community, the councilors write, quote, "The council stands with supporters of James and will continue to support every legal and legislative measure necessary to take the greater Fort Wayne community safer, stronger, and united against hate," end quote.
The footage spread fast, too fast, grainy, shaky, captured in chaos, but clear enough to see what mattered. A man, identified later as James Simmons, surrounded, overpowered, outnumbered, 6 men closing in, no escape, no help, no hesitation, blows landing from every direction, voices in the background, angry, aggression, and then something else, words, racial slurs, loud, unfiltered, unmistakable, the kind of words that don't just hurt, they expose intent. And suddenly, this wasn't just a fight anymore. This was something bigger, something darker. But the question is, what led up to this moment? Because the video doesn't show the beginning.
If you commit a crime in Fort Wayne, you will be found and we will prosecute you.
Fort Wayne Mayor Sharon Tucker reacts to 2 violent crimes that happened over the weekend. One of those crimes, a battery at Pikes Pub, which is just outside city limits, but the mayor still speaking out.
And a witness also speaking out after a video taken at the pub Friday night shows a man being punched, thrown down, and called racial slurs. Wayne 15's Marcus Truccio has the latest tonight.
That video has gone viral on social media and has even made national headlines. It shows one man inside the bar being attacked by at least a half dozen other men. The witness I spoke to wishes to stay anonymous for safety reasons. Wayne 15 has confirmed this witness was at Pikes Pub at the time the viral video was taken. One narrative being shared on social media was that the victim in this attack was cut off and wouldn't pay his tab. It was never about paying the tab, according to this witness. The witness said the victim actually had his credit card ready to pay when several men dressed in Outlaws gear arrived, telling him to leave. Then it escalated quickly as the victim was punched at, tackled, and thrown across the floor, while at least one person yelled out racial slurs. The witness Wayne 15 spoke to says he at least wants to see those who participated in the battery to be held accountable. He said, quote, "I want everyone to not have to feel like they're walking on eggshells when they go into any of the bars, whether they're white, whether they're black, whether they're Mexican, Latino, Dominican. Everyone should be entitled to go into any bar." We asked the Allen County Sheriff's Department where the investigation stands and whether this could be a federal hate crime due to the language used in that video, considering the use of racial slurs. The department says a detective has been assigned to the case, but it is very early in the investigation and a case is still getting put together. Fort Wayne Mayor Sharon Tucker says she's been in contact with Sheriff Troy Hirschberger about the investigation into the battery.
I have all the confidence in our Sheriff's Department that they will bring the corporates responsible for the injuries there also to justice and turn them over to the court system.
Since Friday night, at least one Allen County bar has said it wouldn't allow motorcycle club affiliated gear anymore. Arcola Inn and Ale posted on Facebook and said in part, due to the recent incident at a local establishment and in an effort to keep our environment safe and welcoming for everyone, we will no longer allow any colors, cuts, or club affiliated gear on the premises.
Authorities quickly identified them. Justin Werndt, Gerard Empton, Christopher Yoho, Douglas Zuber, Ryan Minnick, Vard Warnock. 6 names, now permanently tied to one night and one accusation. They weren't strangers to each other. Reports say they were affiliated with the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, a group known for its presence, its reputation, its loyalty, but also its history. And when investigators looked closer, they didn't just see 6 individuals.
We begin tonight with continuing coverage of the viral attack on a man at Pikes Pub. This afternoon, the victim in that video spoke to the media for the first time. Fox 55's David Tillmans has more details.
I'm here outside the Allen County Courthouse where earlier this afternoon, Carlton Lynch, a pastor and activist, spoke alongside James Simmons, the man who was seen attacked in that viral video out of Pikes Pub last week. The video shows Simmons being assaulted by a group of men wearing jackets for the Outlaws Motorcycle Club. Simmons arrived at the press conference today after meeting with investigators, and he hopes for the investigation to look not only into the assault itself and his attackers, but also into the involvement of the owners of Pikes Pub, who Pastor Lynch says has ties to the Outlaws.
This was not a fight, it was an attack. That James Simmons was never a threat to anyone that was in the pub.
I didn't know that the city would react like that. I didn't know I was so supported. I just want to make sure this don't happen to nobody else.
The investigation is still ongoing. No charges have been filed at this time. As prosecutors say, they are still looking for information about the assault. If you have any information about this case, Lynch, Simmons, and city and county leaders urge you to come forward. You can share that information with the Fort Wayne Police Department, or you can call Crime Stoppers.
They saw something else, a connection, a pattern, a possible plan, because according to prosecutors, this wasn't random, this wasn't spontaneous. They described it as a common scheme, a coordinated act, something that unfolded together in the same place at the same time for the same reason. But that raises another question. If this was planned, then why was it filmed?
We'll start with major developments into the beating caught on video of a black man inside an Allen County bar nearly 2 weeks ago. We start with that breaking news right now. We've learned that all 6 of those men, identified through a combination of witnesses and tips via Crime Stoppers, have been identified and arrested. Fox 55 has obtained 5 of the 6 mugshots of those suspects. Here are 3 of them on the screen right now. They say these 3 men were among 6 who attacked a black man inside Pikes Pub May 30th. We know so far Kent Adamus, Jared Empton, and Justin Werndt have been arrested. In addition, to Christopher Yoho and Douglas Zuber. Now, we've also learned a sixth man, Ryan Minnick, was also arrested. There's no mugshot available of him just yet, but police say all six were arrested within 24 hours of warrants being issued for them. All six were arrested either at their home or places of employment. This all comes as the community was calling for justice and for further investigation into that beating and Pikes Pub and its owner, who, according to investigators, is dating one of the men arrested in this case. We caught up with Mayor Sharon Tucker earlier today to get her reaction to those arrests.
This is proof that if we trust the process, that we are able to see the results that we would like to see. And now we have suspects in custody, and we will look forward to hearing what the outcome in court will be.
We're still working to learn more about when their court date will be. The most serious of those charges includes battery and strangulation. That's for Justin Wirt. He was charged with that. Now, police say he was seen in the video choking Simmons. Meanwhile, police later, we learned that he told investigators, the victim did, James Simmons, that he couldn't breathe because of that chokehold and suffered various injuries. Here's video of several people calling for justice at a recent city council meeting. All six men being held on bonds of $10,000. And
at first, there were 7 names, 7 suspects, 7 men believed to be involved. One of them, 64-year-old Kent Adominis, charged, accused, labeled, until everything changed. Investigators reviewed security footage, not the viral clip, not the chaos, but something quieter, something more complete. And what they found didn't match the narrative. Adominis wasn't there.
The 6 men arrested in connection to what police are investigating as a battery at Pikes Pub on May 30th is no longer facing charges. Wayne 15's Mia Pettigrew joins us with what we know so far.
Dirk, court records show that the state dismissed charges against Kent Adominis after detectives reviewed new evidence about where he really was that night. On May 30th, a black man, later identified as James Simmons, was beaten by a group of white men who are allegedly a part of a biker gang known as the Outlaws inside the pub. A video capturing the events quickly went viral online. Racial slurs could be heard in the background, leading many to believe the beating was a racially motivated hate crime. Adominis was charged with battery and criminal recklessness just yesterday, alongside 5 others who were said to have played various roles in the attack. Now today, prosecutors asked to dismiss the case. His son, Travis Adominis, told Wayne 15 his father had been at the bar earlier in the day, but returned home before the battery happened. He says home security footage confirmed that. Travis also said Kent is not a member of the Outlaws Motorcycle Group. We're working to learn more about why Adominis was initially charged and who the person initially identified as him in the video of the battery actually was. The sheriff's office did release a statement saying that Adominis is no longer a suspect, and detectives have developed multiple new leads and a new suspect. While Adominis is no longer facing charges, 5 other men still are: Justin Wirt, Jared Empton, Douglas Zuber, Ryan Minnick, and Christopher Yoho. They were all arrested after a multi-agency investigation involving several local law enforcement entities and the FBI. Their initial hearings are set for Monday, and Wayne 15 will have cameras inside the courthouse bringing you the latest. At 6, hear directly from Allen County Prosecutor Mike McAlexander. Mia Pettigrew, Wayne 15 News.
Mia, thank you.
Not in the bar, not in the fight, not anywhere near the attack. Just like that, the charges were dropped, gone, erased. But think about that for a second. If one person was wrongly accused, how much of the story are we still missing? As the case moved forward, something unusual happened. Prosecutors made a decision not to separate the men, not to try them one by one, but to combine everything, one trial, all 6 defendants, together. Why? Because according to the state, their actions were too connected to split apart, too intertwined, too dependent on each other, like pieces of a puzzle that only made sense when viewed as one image. And then more charges were added, not just battery, not just recklessness, but something heavier, criminal organization activity, gang enhancements. Suddenly, this wasn't just about a bar fight anymore. This was about structure, influence, and whether this moment was part of something larger happening beneath the surface. Fast forward to 2026, the 6 men stand in court, not as individuals, but as a group, side by side, facing the same accusations, the same evidence, the same video.
Defendants accused of beating a black man at an Allen County bar last year appeared in court for a pretrial conference this morning. Justin Wirt, Vard Warnock, Jared Impton, Ryan Minnick, Christopher Yoho, and Douglas Zuber all face charges for beating James Simmons III at Pikes Pub last May. The viral video shows 6 people punching, kicking, and possibly choking Simmons. The 6 defendants last appeared in court in September. Another pretrial conference is set for April. The trial is scheduled to start in May.
A trial date is set, May 18th, 5 days. That's all it will take to decide what really happened inside Pikes Pub. But trials don't just reveal truth, they reveal perspective. Because what one side calls a brutal attack, the other might call something else entirely. And somewhere between those two stories is the truth still waiting. A viral video, 6 men, 1 victim, in a case that's far from over, because the footage showed us what happened, but not why. And sometimes the most important details are the ones you don't see. So the question remains, when that courtroom door closes and the full story finally comes out, will it match what we think we saw? Or will it reveal something no one was expecting? Alright y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's a story of 6 bikers from a racist motorcycle club beating up one black man in the middle of a bar. Hey man, get in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!